What's going on, guys? All right, man. I have made a few videos about proof of God. Okay, and again, how can you prove that God exists? Because the world is filled with people who don't believe, or those who say they believe, but that's just lip service. Okay, I go to church. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Christian, but they live their life following Satan. Okay, but anyway, guys. I was in a discussion the other day, as usual. It wasn't about God, but I made it into God. Okay, I have a gift for doing that. I used to work with a guy. Let me give you an example. I used to work with a guy. And you could be talking about anything, and this guy could turn it into fishing or hunting, no matter what you're talking about. I mean, I could be talking about how long my toenails are, and this guy would jump in, and pretty soon you're talking about fishing. Okay, literally. So I do the same thing with God. I mean, I can literally jump into a group on YouTube where they're talking about one thing, and I'll turn it into God, and then pretty soon everybody's going against me, if that's what it is. But the whole conversation shifts towards God. Okay, so I love to do that. It comes naturally to me, and that's how I do it. That's how I get people going. So YouTube, is an access, a doorway for me to do things like that. But anyway, yesterday, just like a million other times, some guy said that God does not exist. He was very polite, very kind, blah, 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 blah. So I responded. And for some odd reason, I usually go around the world with these guys a couple times, and that's the end of it, and I never see him again. But for some reason, I want to make a video for this guy, and I'm going to post it there, and I'm going to show it to him to prove that God exists. Okay, now here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, beyond what you can see with your own eyes, okay, I've done a few videos in my channel down below, Proof of God. If you want to go look at those, go ahead. But here's one example I want to show you guys. Here's a problem. Every now and then, God and Satan are going to expose themselves very, very plainly. Okay, so that all the world can see. It happens very rarely, okay, where they literally come out of their shell and you're going to see it. Okay, but here's the problem. Just like when God parted the ocean and the Israelites crossed, they got to the other side, and right away they started partying. They absolutely forgot what they had just saw, and they go right back to their sin. Okay, they go right back to their ways. I mean, they literally just saw God part the oceans with Moses. And as soon as they get across, it's just a matter of time before they just absolutely forget what they just saw. So in other words, what it should have been is that every single person that parted the Red Sea, that crossed the Red Sea, they should have been on fire for God for the rest of their lives from what they just saw and from what they were just delivered from, bondage for 400 years or whatever it was. Okay? But they're not. And this is the way the world works. People, their attention span is about this long right here. Okay, they can't grab it and hold on to it and keep running with it, even though they now know that God exists. And if you know God exists, you know Satan exists, and you know there's a heaven and you know there's a hell, you better get your shit together, because this is not a game. This is actually going down. Okay, so anyway, this is the video I'm making for this guy. Years ago, back in 2012 or 13, whatever it was, over in Indiana, this black lady and her kids were living in a house that was probably on a portal to hell, full of demons. Okay, now, before you get going, the kids were missing school. They weren't going to school. And Child Protective Services, the DCFS, or demons that come from Satan, okay, these psychopaths that want to psychoanalyze everybody and destroy lives, they were convinced that the mother was, doing whatever with the kids, okay, that it was her fault. So they came over to the house, and I think half of them ran out of there. They got the hell out of that house. Why? Because one of the kids, there was all kinds of shit going on in the house. I'm going to put a video down below. But one of these kids crawled backwards up a wall and onto the ceiling, and then did a backflip. And he had strange voices coming out. He was talking about, you know, I am here to kill, or things like that, of that nature. But anyway, all kinds of things going on in this house. Half of these people, or all of them, ran out of the house. They got the hell out of there, okay? Then the cops were called in. Okay, the cops, they're going to come in and do their thing. And before you know it, the chief of police and everybody else, they're all, what they seen. And I'm going to put the video down below. Okay? They seen what the Child Protective Service has seen. Okay? Okay? So now, I think the whole family ended up getting taken to the hospital. And as far as I know, there was an RN nurse or several RN nurses that witnessed this kid walking backwards up the frickin' wall. Okay, and they ran out of the damn room. Now, and again, let me point this out again. When you see a very rare moon, when you see a very rare instance of Satan or God in action right in front of your eyes, you would think that everybody who has heard this story, that has seen this story, all the nurses in that room, all the DCFS workers, everybody else in between, you would think that after witnessing such events, that these people would be running towards God and grabbing Bibles and becoming preachers and teachers and whatever in between. But they don't. They go right back to their wicked ways. Okay? So that's the problem. That's the problem with people. Okay, you're going to witness God in action. You're going to witness Satan in action. And it's just going to freak you out for a few days. You're going to talk about it. You're going to reminisce about it. And go right back to your old ways. Okay? That's the problem right there. So I'm going to put this video down below. And I found another video that actually shows this kid walking backward up a wall. I don't know if I can get that down there or not. But somebody videotaped it, and it is freaky. Okay? Literally. But ladies and gentlemen, God exists. Okay? And if God does exist, which he does, okay, and Satan exists, like you're going to see here, there's a heaven and a hell. You guys are pissing around with your eternity. You think that after you die, that's it. Lights out, game over. Everything is ashes to ashes, dust to dust. No, it's not. Okay? There's judgment day. There is, you're going to meet your maker face to face. Every knee will bow before God. So anyway, and again, the stubbornness, the hardness, the short attention span of the human race, with so many distractions that Satan puts out there to get you away from God. But when he exposes himself right in front of your face, right in front of the public, Satan or God, you need to grab a hold of that and take off running, okay? And understand this is real, okay? This ain't no dude, okay? Pay attention. Anyway, all right, man, I'm into this 8 minutes. I'm going to put the video down below. I think this took place in Indiana. Freaky, freaky, freaky. Okay, but real. Absolutely real. No doubt about it. Watch the video. All right, peace out.